All right, welcome back to the Madden podcast. I'm Max, your host, and today I am alone. I'm recording this as Roxy is recovering, and she will be back next week. And well, she's very, 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 very missed right now, as is always a joy and a privilege to share this moment with her and with you all. Well, today there's only me, and we'll do with that. So, let me see. What are we going to talk today about? Well, first of all, what I wanted to say is that I'm not just missing the presence of Roxanne. It's more than that. As you may know, I've been working with Roxanne for many years now, and that has allowed me to evolve, to discover, to go deeper inside of me, and to discover many, 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 many things about myself. But also, I have had a privileged spot into observing her own evolution, and I have to say it's been an amazing journey, but it's been really um, also bumpy, right? Up and downs and all of that, but um, I'm so proud of the evolution Roxanne has had, and what the engagement, the truth, the truth that she represents, the truth that she puts in her work, and seeing the evolution, what she's bringing to the table, and how she is so committed to herself. It's something that inspires, and every time she shares with everyone her the way she's working, the where she is at, and what is going on with her. She's always bringing so much evolution with her, and so I wanted to take just this space, this moment, to acknowledge that, and to look at Roxanne, and say the wonderful being that she is, and she's making the difference, even though sometimes it may not be so evident, so clear, but that's what I'm seeing. So that was one thing that I wanted to say. Then let's move on. It's obviously always a pleasure to do this podcast. Madden God is right. He's Madden and God and all of that. And I'm saying a little bit too much, but um, yes, I love doing this, and I'm loving your presence, each one of you that join in every week or at any moment, and share this moment with us. Yeah, so thank you to you too. Next, I wanted to go into some kind of process. You know, um, when we share these moments with you, right? What we say, what we talk, generally we do not prepare it. It's really on the spot. We just come together and we say, what do we want to talk about today, and then we go into it, and we share it at the best, right? The best. We always do the best. We cannot do anything else but the best. And these are notions, right? The notions we are sharing with you are our perspective, right? In that moment, what is our perspective? And that is something that is going to evolve. It's always evolving, and you can see that in the way we are experiencing these things right now. If you are able, if you can compare to what was shared previously, years ago, the way we were talking about these things was different perspective, right? Now we are bringing new stuff in it. We have evolved, and that is one way for us to see that we are evolving, that we are, and evolution as well, is that we change our vibration. Changing our vibration is what brings us into a new state of being that uh, has nothing to do with what we were vibrating previously. That is one of the reasons why we could not go back and confront the previous version of us, because we do not match anymore vibrationally. That's one way where you can say, oh, right, I'm evolving. Then there are the little things that are showing that we're not finding ourselves in the same spot as before, and those little things can be in can be a pen that you left on one desk and you find it in on another desk. You thought you bought chicken and you have beef. You the color or your t-shirt was white and now it's pink. Right, these things, and most of the time these things may pass unobserved because that's the way it is. But for us now, it's obvious, and it's not just obvious. It's the acceptance. We notice that, and we accept that it's not that. Oh, right. Oh, actually, oh look, my memory is not working. I thought that. Oh, but I must have post that or move the I had without realizing I moved the pan. Oh right. Oh, no burger, right? No. Now we do accept that actually I posed the pen exactly there where I found the pen, even though my memory is that I posed the pen somewhere else. Both are true. The fact that I found the pen somewhere else than where I remember posing it, it shows me evolution. Let me give you more examples of this, things that have been happening to me lately. So, with my husband, we were watching a Netflix show about lost civilization. It's something I think that they posted recently. And as we were watching that, so they talked about um, discoveries that have been made that are completely destroying, but changing the perspective of history. As you know, we have a let's say historians and all those people that are studying around that kind of thing, right? Have a very clear idea of our timeline, when civilization appeared and how did it evolve into becoming sedentary, when did we have the first city, and blah blah blah, all of those things. Now these discoveries are simply doing what? Destroying completely all of that timeline, because they can be dated previously to what is perceived to be the first moment we came together into a civilization or into a city, right? So, in other words, those discoveries should not exist according to the mainstream idea of these things. So, we were watching that, and they start with Köpek Temple, Tepe, in Turkey, and a very very interesting site and absolutely amazing. And so in what they have um, discovered so far is even a one, it's maybe 1% or and it's what they perceive even to be down still hidden. It's even not all of it. There's even more, but they haven't seen that yet. But very interesting side. And then they moved to Malta, and there are they show that there are multiple temples that are positioned so that they can look to a particular star, right? They are aligned with a particular star, and as the Earth is moving, so the alignment is changing of some degrees every year or something like that. Then they have realized that every other temple is situated in the movement of Earth in regards of the star, so that they correct the alignment and they keep following the star over the years, decades, or maybe centuries. And there is one particular one that is big, Gigantalia or something like that. I sorry, I don't remember the name, but and they are still not really very clear what that was used for. They think that there used to be some sacrifice. They always say that they are done for sacrifices, right? Every way, everywhere where there is some temple, something like that, there must have been sacrifices done. I don't know, but that's their thing, right? I'm not quite sure that that is what was done. What is sure is that the proportions of these temples show that the beings that have built these temples must have been bigger than what we are. They they say giants, because the proportions are so done that clearly it's not us, right? It's not human beings that have done that. And as our way of seeing things is that we have evolved, and in our evolution we are becoming higher than let's say in the 16th, 15th or 10th century of our era, right? We are at least 20, 30, something like that, centimeters. I don't know in feet, sorry, but probably 1 feet, yeah, 1 feet higher than what they used to be back then. So yeah, and as we were watching that, so I'm just getting back to the point. As we were watching all of that, especially, and we were watching the Malta part. My husband told me, asked me, uh, probably when you were on Malta, when you visited Malta, you didn't go to visit these temples. And I was I was lost. I watched him and I said, I haven't been to Malta ever. And he was confused and said, oh, I, I seems I remember, well, probably my memory is wrong. And I instantly knew that his memory was not wrong. His memory was perfectly working because 20 years ago, with my work, there was a discussion to send me to Malta for a auditing work, internal auditing work, and it never materialized. However, as you know, a potential is always played out in the sense that the potential is realized, that is true, and the potential is not realized, that is true as well. So I instantly knew what is happening here is that we are having different memories. He has the memory of me going to Malta, and I have the memory of not going to Malta, right? And I knew his memory is working perfectly well. So that showed me, right? That confirmed to me the evolution. It confirmed to me, right? We are creating our memory in the moment, and he was picking up a memory that did not match with mine in that moment. So we were kind of in different timeline with different memories. This is not right, not correct, because we were there interacting together, so we can the moment is the moment, and it's not that we are interacting from far away. But that showed me, wow, the memory, right? How is it? Very interesting. And the other instance is that recently we were on in Spain, and previous to that, I had a little accident where I sat on my glasses. Something that never happened to me in 40 years. No, 35 that I have glasses. Anyway, never happened to me that I just something like so clumsy. So that happened. And so as we were in Spain, we just had and I've been going to Spain for 20 more years. So and I've never ever thought to buy glasses there, to even explore that. It's always been far away, and I was not in the need as I was there. So never thought about that. But this time, as we were passing by, we said, well, let's go and check. Let's go and see what they have to propose and whatever. And I was very well aware that it will certainly be less expensive than in Switzerland, but I said, well, I didn't expect to have that really huge difference. So I said, well, let's go and see. And so what happens is this. I give my glasses, so that that now they can take the glasses and the lenses, and with a their machines or something like that, they can check the the lenses and know what kind of lenses they are, and the correction they give you, and all of the stuff. They can already have a lot of information with that. So I give that, and they come back to me and they say that my glasses were for seeing from afar, right? From distance seeing. Now, I know for a fact in my memory that when I bought those glasses were done so that I could see from far away, from distance seeing, but it was also for close seeing. Why? Because I couldn't see a thing, whether it was away or whether it was close. I couldn't. Well, I couldn't look right, read my phone. I couldn't. I needed glasses to for doing that. So my glasses, when I bought them, were done so that I could see from close or from a distance. And now in that moment, they're saying that my glasses were just for seeing something that is far, right? For distance seeing. And I was not that, right? I was surprised at that because I was not expecting that, because I know perfectly that that's what I bought, right? But I also knew that sometimes ago, one morning I woke up and I was able to see from close. I was able to look and read my phone. The previous day, I was unable to do that. And at that moment, I couldn't read my phone with my glasses. I had to take the glasses off so that I could read my phone. And I just thought, oh, my side changed, right? I said, just like that. I'm not going to go any farther than that. That's what happened. Great, right? Fast forward again in Spain in this shop. Well, surprise! And that's the moment where I really understood what was happening. What happened is that my sight did not change. What happened is evolution. What happened is that I had a jump in timeline, or whatever you want to call it, but I had a jump. And that jump broke me into a timeline where my sight was better than what I remembered. So that instead of needing glasses for seeing anything, I only needed glasses for seeing from far. And so it happened that my glasses were corresponding with my need in that moment, in that timeline, which was that I could see from close. So I didn't need to buy glasses to see from close, right? My sight was too good for that. So I didn't buy glasses that will do more than what I needed. But my memory remained the memory of my sight is bad. Can't see from close, can't see from away. I need glasses for both. Huh. And you see, suddenly what was happening has become clear to me, right? It's not my sight just corrected itself or just changed. And it was a huge change because to go from I can see nothing without glasses to I can read my phone now. Well, in just waking up, right? it was certainly strange, but I was not going to make a fuss about that or anything. But then when I was buying new glasses, then I realized it. Then I saw it for what it is. A change of timeline. Clearly. Wow. And a huge one because you see, well, huge one. So that it's huge, not more than any other time. But what happened there is that I left my memory untouched, or I kept a certain memory so that at that moment I was able to realize what happened. Or I was able, because actually, it's not that we say always, oh, you jumped, you changed timeline, blah, blah. Many people do not realize this kind of thing. They just don't see that, right? So what happens generally is that you change timeline, you jump, right? And you are in a different timeline. And what you do is that your memory is changed so that it's aligning itself with what is in that moment. So for me, I will have had the memory of buying exactly the glasses that I was wearing in that moment, meaning glasses to see from afar. Right? That's what generally happens. For me, I kept the memory of the other timeline, meaning my sight is bad, my glasses is to see, simply to see. Without the glasses, I can't see. So that I have been giving myself a way to recognize the change, the evolution, the jump. And the evolution it simply means that I'm evolving myself into the best version of me possible in that moment. And that shows me also I have no control over that. Obviously, yeah, I have control over that from the point of view of the creator. The creator knows exactly what the creator is doing, right? The creator knows what the creation is. There is no point on that, right? It's nothing. But from the point of view of the created, so the human is not controlling that. Reality is happening and flowing, right? Creation is happening, creation is flowing, and things are happening like that. And the human is not controlling that, in the sense it happens. And you see from this how we can oversee that, and most of the time that's what we do. We oversee these changes, these jumps, because right, from a point of view of my timeline, it's nothing. It's just, it keeps going, right? Creation keeps happening. But it's true that there is a change there, right? It's absolutely true. Not discounting that. From point of view of my life, nothing changes. I'm still, right, creating, keeping going, and all of that. Keep going and yeah. But still, that shows how creation works. And that happens all the time. And most of the time, we do not notice because most of the people are just not aware of it, not keeping putting any attention of it. And it's not that you put your attention of that, it's you notice because you notice. It's not because you're trying to have the information or that you're trying to check these things. Remember, intention doesn't work. So if you keep doing this with the intention, is that you are showing what? Lack. So lack will not give you anything. So it's not intentional. My noticing these things is just happening. It's just there in the moment. I have access to the information. Again, not because I'm wanting to have the information, but because the information is there, happening in the moment. And so most of the time that is overlooked. And then there are moments where we give ourselves the ways to notice, to know, to be aware of it. And this is happening to you, to everyone. Again, it's simply what? The acceptance. Accepting that you're not crazy, I'm not crazy, that what I'm noticing, I'm not building that up. I'm noticing exactly what it is. Even though the temptation could be of rejecting it and saying, oh no, the pen was always there. Oh no, my glasses were always correct like that. There was no other glasses. It's just, I am crazy. That's all there is, right? Rejecting what we perceive, what we have. That's what we've been told, because that's all we knew. Now we know different. Now we know that when we notice something like that, it's real, it's true. We're not hallucinating. We accept it for what it is. We do not reject those things just because well, it looks like a miracle. It's look like, oh, you cannot do those things. Oh, those things do not exist. Right? No, they do. And we are experiencing them. And if we allow ourselves simply to say, yes, this is what happened. It's not extraordinary. It's not wrong. It's exactly what it's happening. And I'm giving myself a way to notice. Our mastery here now is to recognize the self, to recognize what is reality. And the reality is not a line, a straight line where nothing happens, where only what? The fearful refusal say, oh, you cannot deviate from that. It must be always straight forward. Don't look left, you don't look right, you keep going there. Now we know differently, and knowing differently then keeps bringing you more knowing differently. And for me, what changes a lot in my relationship with reality is the acceptance of reality as it is, the acceptance that I am seeing, noticing, perceiving, experiencing exactly what I am perceiving, experiencing, seeing, feeling. It's correct, it's right, it's true as it is, as it's shown to me. Acceptance. I am true, I am right. No one else can come to me and tell me what is happening. No one else can tell me that, oh, you're wrong. Oh no, you are hallucinating. No, 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 no. No. This is me. This is my reality. I know best than anyone else. If I allow anyone to come in and to tell me, to define, to describe, to tell me, no, you're hallucinating, you're wrong, then I'm not respecting myself. I'm not accepting myself. I am accepting a stranger as their person telling me, no. But I know that I've been told and taught that the external is more important, the external knows better. No, I've been told that. So it's a journey. It's work to override that programming, to override the um, primal reaction of rejecting our identification of reality, our reading reality, our receiving information. I mean, probably I gave myself also the that perspective because I've always had the memory of, as a child, seeing a being in my room, and I always accepted that as a memory, as a true, as an experience, a true experience. I never questioned whether there was a being or not, whether I must have been dreaming, I must have hallucinating, right? That kind of thing that will have been excuses just not to confront myself with what had been happening in that room in that moment. It will much more have been, let's say, it will have been much more easier to reject it, to take the thing and say, oh, I was probably dreaming, right? Right, that will have been much easier, because that easier, and I'm putting that into quote marks, um, because that's what we generally are doing with anything that goes out of the ordinary, and that becomes extraordinary, and so we reject it, whereas the wrong assumption is that that is extraordinary. It's not extraordinary. It's happening to so many people that that is ordinary, but the rejection makes it extraordinary. What is extraordinary is not what happened. What is extraordinary is to accept it as it is, because the rejection that so many have towards what they experience make acceptance extraordinary when acceptance ought to be ordinary. It happened. Let's not cloak it into darkness, right? Into a dark coin of the mind of fantasy or fantasy. Oh yeah, in that fantasy, it always become everything goes into fantasy, right? The excuse for everything is fantasy. It's not real, it's fantasy. Science fiction, right? It's fiction in the sense it's not real. It's so difficult for human beings to simply accept reality. So much so that yeah, that we are and all of us we are very good at that in hiding what we are scared of. What and we are scared. We because we are not noticing so many things that are around us just because we do refuse, not because there isn't anything, but because we refuse, we're scared. Beings have left our awareness, our reality, our vibration, because we were too scared to share reality with those beings. Just for that. And yeah, of course, our being scared was translating into we become human being become aggressive and become murderous towards any being that they are scared of, right? Dragons are said to be fantasy beings that someone invented. And it is funny to me because that is used very, very often, right? Fantasy beings that we invented. How did we invent them? Huh? Who? No one knows. We may go and have the assumption of finding the first person that ever mentioned dragons. And sometimes that could become, yes, you see, that is it. That's the first. That's the inventor of dragons. No, the only thing we know that is that they were the first mentioning them, not inventing them. They invented nothing. They probably were describing beings that existed at the time. But then the fear and all that made them beings of fantasy. Fairies got the same treatment. Druids got the same treatment. They're said to have been existing, yes, but we do not know exactly what they were doing. Some magic, yes, but magic. Let me laugh at that because we know magic doesn't exist. So these druids were just people that were stupid and pretending to do magic because they couldn't be doing magic. Come on now. They're just inventing, they were just pretending. And well, magic is not real. So were they really these magic beings? Or were just they were just I don't know, right? That kind of way of treating everything that is not now and pretending that we know best, we know better. just because we are unable to do those things nowadays, right? So no one can be doing those things at any point in history. It's not that we have lost the ability of doing things because we forgot. No, is that they must have been just um, illusionist. That they were eluding everything, liars and right, pretending, all of those things. Because we're not there, but we know best. That is something that really is a bad habit nowadays, is to pretend that we know best, to pretend that our we evolve, our evolution, technological evolution is the best ever, ever, ever. No, it isn't. And do you know why I can say that it isn't the best evolution, the best technology that we ever had? Hmm. Just a question. How were the pyramids built? The Egyptian pyramid built? Do you know? What I know is that they don't know. And if they were trying to build them, they are unable to do it. So when they come with their arrogance to say, "Oh, we are the best ever," say, "No, we are not. We have forgotten a lot." Whether then they were built by humans or not, how they were put there, well, we only know, right? We can only say, well, they are there right now. I do not need to know more about that in any other way except to just say, well, yes, that's how it works, right? They're there. In this moment, that's what we have. They are there. Like every other monument, they exist right here, right now, and that's what it is. How were they built? It's lost in history in the sense that they're there. And the knowledge of those monuments, we all know those monuments, so that is also something that brings into the building of those monuments. But anyway, that's not the point here. It's just to confront with reality. We don't know how they build them. So we are this idea of we are having the best technology ever, 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 ever. It's simply arrogance, stupidity. We don't know that we are evolving ourselves. Yes, in our human evolution, we are the best we can be as human beings, as this version of human beings. Absolutely. But as of pretending that we are the best evolved, the technological evolved ever to exist on Earth, we cannot assess that because we don't know. And the discoveries, as I was saying before, the discoveries that we are doing right now are proving that that there are signs of civilization that pre-existed us, and that were so evolved that they were able to build monuments that, from the point of view of our history and the interpretation of it, at that point of time, they shouldn't have been able to build because they didn't have the technology. How did they move such big stones that they were supposed to move with so primitive uh, stuff, technology that they had, or with sticks, right? They probably didn't have even the will at that point from our point of view. But we now have to admit we're wrong. They had technology that we do not possess anymore, that has disappeared. It's that easy. It's there under our nose. So just, right? Again, accept reality as it is. If there is a mainstream saying, well, our humanity started 10,000 years ago, and you find stuff that says, oh, well, this stuff existed 20,000 years ago, it was built at least 20,000 years ago, then that means our history is wrong. Instead, and what many people do, they refuse it. They say it must be wrong, this must be dated wrongly, it must be into the frame of what we say. If it's outside, it's wrong. Denial, 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 denial. But you cannot blame them. Is that if you take that under consideration, is that is bringing, well, it's taking away their identity. It's taking away, it's a dissonance, right? And so they cannot accept anything that is not entering their perception of what things are. So they have to refuse it. So it's important to be in the acceptance, in the getting into things, seeing what is happening, observing it, and then just saying, all right, this is what I'm perceiving right now. Whether it's in your, right, what is happening with you, with your creation, with your now, or whether it is what is attracted by you as information, right? What looks like to be the external, it's not the external, it's still the internal, but right, information about the datation, the discovering of temples, right, this kind of thing. Accept, simply, we have just to accept that if it doesn't match with the assumption of things, well, it means that we're wrong. We were just, let's say, more than wrong, is that we didn't have the information, and now we have the information. So now we have the awareness that things, that our civilization did not appear the way we thought, and that we're not the first ever, or that evolution is wrong because it didn't go from where they say it started to come to us, because there were other civilizations maybe that existed simultaneously. But the thing is that we have proof of that, because they found these temples and constructions that are there. Yeah. Acceptance, accepting our experience in the moment, then brings more experience. It opens up to more experience, to more, because we are able to accept it. We are not resisting. And resistance is what? It's resisting ourselves. Because again, everything, it doesn't matter if it's related to you, so your image, your creation that you have right here, right now, right, or whether it's attracted, so what we could call again external, doesn't matter which is, it's that if it's there, you put it there. You are creating it, meaning you are interpreting it. You are giving yourself that experience. You, not the external. No one is creating that for you. You are. So everything that you bring into your now, it's you bringing it. So it's a choice that you made to have that in your now. So if you resist it, you are not allowing your energy to flow freely. You are refusing it. So you are contracting, so the energy doesn't flow freely in you. That's all it is. So you are reducing your choices. Well, you can actually create for yourself where it's reduced, but it's not right, wrong. It's simply how it is. You are not allowing energy to flow freely, whatever it may be. If we receive information that things are different from what we thought they are and that we refuse it, then we are reducing. And you can see the manifestation of the refusal. You can see that because we are aware of how that works, because we can see it in the people that are doing that, and we can perceive them. Even though they are not in our reality, we can have a side of that. It's not pretty, especially those that resist so much. It's not pretty. Can be ugly. End up into actions that are ugly. Which is again only what the experience, right? It's everyone is having experiences. It's nothing than that. But when you look into you and what you are experiencing and compare to what the attraction of awareness is, the ugliness, then you can compare. You can see that there's a difference. There's a difference of being, of being in the now, of accepting, of everything, because we are opening up ourselves to our reality, whereas those other beings are closing themselves and opposing. So they are having experiences that are traumatic, that are terrible, that are so far away from what we are now. And that comparison, you can do it because it is there for you to realize, I don't want that. I'm not that. I move far, 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 far away from that. This is my evolution. This is why I'm experiencing myself in this way, because I have made a choice to move away from that. And I am now in the acceptance of me, in acceptance of my reality. So I can see the difference now. I can see that that cannot happen to me in that way because I made different choices. Right here, right now, right? It's always related to the now. It's not a prediction in any way. It's the here and the now. So keep working on you. Keep observing you. Keep allowing your expression. Keep allowing your energy to flow freely, because that makes a difference. A huge difference, and gives you the push in your evolution. All right. So that's all. Thank you for joining in and listening. Um, you can find me breakfastwithmax.com, my website, with courses and how to contact me and all of that. YouTube Breakfast with Max, my channel. And we will be back next week with Roxanne with new adventures. And so, I love you. Goodbye.